I think that making a spooky clay baked collection would be really fun, actually. Let's do that today. Hi everyone, if you don't know me already, my name is Jess and I am the artist and creator behind J Rose Alchemic Art, a spooky art business that focuses on basically ghost and Halloween related art themes. So for today's video, I am really looking into kind of expanding on my world that I've created called Spookfall Hollow and just some of the things that you can kind of find in the world itself. So I have had this idea about making like a baked goods collection for a little bit now, and I really want to actually expand on that and try to do a lot of sculpting and get that all ready. So I have some ideas about what we're gonna be like, maybe some cookies, some like brownies, things like that, maybe pancakes. But yeah, we'll go ahead and try to get some sculpting in, probably following up a little bit on the design process. We'll kind of talk that through and then we'll get right into it. So let's get started. Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. This is Jess from J Rose Alchemic Art. And today I'm actually hoping to get some planning and sculpting done of possibly a spooky bakery series that I have in mind. If you don't know me, I have an art shop and I like to create a lot of different art, either drawing or sculpting, of the fun designs that I have for like that are a little bit more spooky themed. So in honor of that, and I obviously really love baked goods, I'm a big foodie fan, if you will, I just thought it'd be really cute to be able to make like some very cute and like tiny almost baked good designs, maybe some like croissants, brownie bites. I have done like cookies and donuts and things like that before, so I really want to just try and continue to work on that little aspect of my art and the things that I have made before, but also be able to try out some new designs and some things that I think would be really fun. So if you're interested in that, do make sure to go ahead and follow along. We're probably going to do a little bit of drawing first and then get into the sculpting aspect next. So if you're interested, let's go ahead and get started. Yes, as you can see here, we do have our little cozy setup with our sketchbook as well. And I just have my little black wing pencil that I normally use to sculpt, or to draw, I should say. So, again, if you have not seen my sketchbook before, they're like very rudimentary, kind of simple drawings, but it helps me get my ideas out and kind of plan ahead. So, I have lots of different things in here, some things that are hopefully never going to see the light of day, just because they're not the greatest, but again, it just helps me kind of plan out my process, and some things that I'm a little bit more proud of. So we are going to be focusing on some new designs though. So I've already had an idea for a brownie bite design for like a spiderwick theme. On just the brownie bite design, I also want to kind of think of some other new ideas. So I have some for like pumpkin themed, possibly more like starlight or like a galaxy theme. I know that's not necessarily related to spooky, but it's just something that I have made originally when I very first got started into my art business, and I thought it would be really fun to kind of incorporate that and bring it back into my art later, now that it's been like 5 years since I started. So that's kind of in the works. I also have some other ideas that are kind of floating around, but we're going to be working on those together. And then I also want to maybe try to plan out, I think that it is something that I have seen other clay artists do, and I think that it is kind of important to possibly plan out and design a care card that is going to go with my clay designs from now on. Most of the time, like, my products are honestly pretty sturdy. I kind of test them out myself half the time because I'm just a little bit clumsy. That's okay. But just making sure that people are aware of, like, you know, maybe not throwing it against the wall on accident, or unfortunately, like, the cats have, you know, not taste tested, that's not a good word. They've tested it out for me though, and are very interested in like scratching or like trying to pick up the clay items themselves. So I know that they're safe from that, from your cats probably, but still just kind of being aware of, like, do be careful with it. It is a handmade product, and you know, there is a possibility that things might break if you're not careful with it. So I do want to put that PSA out there with those care cards, but in order to make that, I want to kind of design one as well. So we'll maybe do that together. And then I also want to kind of focus on between like small like clay products that are going to be like mostly like trinkets that you can just put up in like your desk area, your kitchen, wherever you feel like it might fit best for you. And then possibly also like a couple of worry stone designs as well. Again, I think most of these things, like, they are going to be like small enough that they could function as a worry stone as well, that you just kind of keep in your pocket and utilize as needed. But just giving that people the possibility of whatever would work best for them in that functionality. So those are kind of the ideas for now. I apologize, I realized I said where we're going to get started, but I wanted to like give the overarching theme first. So now we will actually get started on designing. Friends, I feel like it's been a hot minute since I've actually vlogged on this camera in a while, so forgive me if I'm a little bit more not as eloquent, I suppose, with my words. But we are continuing to work on the little spooky baked goods collection that I've been thinking about for a while, and I wanted to very briefly, I know I've shown, maybe I haven't, I honestly don't remember anymore, a couple of the design ideas that I had for like different frosted cookies and pancakes and like a mochi donut, things like that. So that has been some ideas that I have, and then I actually wrote out like a whole list of things that I want to design in general as well. So I believe that we already have our chocolate chip pancakes and our blueberry and strawberry pancake done, which is very exciting. I actually did do an egg toast little sculpt last night as well. It's very tiny though. I'm thinking it might be a good keychain. And then I think today I really want to work on possibly those frosted cookies, maybe the mochi donut. Really, if I can get all the designs done, I'd be pretty happy. I don't know that we're gonna get everything done, but I'd like to try and see what I can do at least in the next couple hours here. The other ideas I have besides the donut and the cookies are possibly like some sort of fun little croissant, cinnamon roll, and then maybe like a little skull coffee mug. I think that'd be really cute. Obviously it's gonna be a little bit tinier than like a regular coffee mug, but I just think that'd be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and get into some sculpting. unfortunately a little bit later in the day now. I was like filming all my sculpting and everything, and then the camera died very early on. So I didn't want to like lose out on the momentum because I was feeling pretty inspired. So I just went ahead and worked on stuff. I'm so sorry that you may or may not have been able to see it. Always look forward to like my YouTube shorts or reels or anything like that, because I generally will like try to save and like put it on my phone at least, so you can check it out there. Unfortunately, sorry if you see Princey's, but just walking around in the background here. But what we did finish was we have a lot of our clay baked goods done, so we have already been working on our chocolate chip pancake and then a strawberry and blueberry pancake, and I think those are super cute. I think what I'm going to end up doing is probably, I'll probably end up turning these two, I think, into clay keychains and maybe leaving one as like a desk friend, just because I think that would be really fun. And then we also have our clay cookie that we had made before as well. Sorry, thought I was going to sneeze. And then I do also have something that was new. This is our clay egg on toast. And again, I thought it'd be really fun to make like this little ghost-shaped egg with like the eyes and the mouth being the yolk. I just think that's super fun. And then obviously we have our toast as well. So that's that batch. And then on the other side here, we do have like our assembly of clay frosted cookies. Oh, good save. Wow. You can't make this stuff up. I really shouldn't be showing stuff off like this because inevitably it always falls off. But anyway, we do have one of our frosted ghost cookies, and I think this one actually turned out really well. I will say, you can't tell it so much now, although there is a hair. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Inevitably, whenever you live with cats, you end up getting hair on your clay, so it's always good to check and make sure it's fallen off. But regardless, I will say, Buffy decided in the middle of me sculpting this that he really wanted to try and pick it up, so it got like a little claw mark on the top of it, and I was so sad, but I was able to salvage it, and I think that it looks pretty good now. Focus, there we go. I think, again, I'm probably going to turn this into a keychain just because I think it'll be really cute. And then we have our skull cookie next. Kind of looks pretty similar to the ghost frosted cookie as well, I think, but hopefully you guys still think it's a fun design. And then I really kind of struggled with the pumpkin cookie here. Originally I really liked the design, and I was gonna try and do kind of like that jack-o'-lantern where it's missing its teeth, and I just don't know that it translated super well. So I don't know. Of the three cookie designs, I think this one is probably my least favorite. It is what it is, but I don't know. Eventually I might try and redo this design again. And then finally we have our little skull coffee mug, if you will. So in the top is supposed to be coffee, and then the actual mug itself is like a skull shape. And I think that this one actually turned out really well too. And yeah, I think all of these I'm going to end up turning into keychains just because I feel like I don't have enough clay keychains on my shop right now, or just in general. So I think pretty much all of these, except for maybe this cookie, this ghost pancake. Oh, you guys can't see that, so sorry. And then the cobweb brownie that I had made before. All of those are actually just going to be clay desk friends. The rest will be keychains. So for now though, we're going to add in our eye pins for all of the rest of these to make them the keychains, and then go ahead and bake it. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now that I have managed to get all of our eye pins in, I'm just going to kind of smooth over the clay a little bit just so it's a little bit more even. And obviously the technique that I use is I actually kind of start in at an angle and then twist in, so that way the eye pin doesn't fall out later, obviously when it's being used as a keychain. But I do try to like smooth over the details just a little bit, because obviously we have kind of disrupted the clay just a hair to actually insert the pin. So I usually just like to use my little sculpting tool here. Hopefully you guys can maybe see that. There you go. It's very soft and kind of like a silicone texture. But yeah, just to kind of smooth over those details one last time before they get ready to go in the oven. So now that our little friends are all assembled with their eye pins, oh my gosh, you can't see that, there we go. But now that they're all ready, let's go ahead and throw them in the oven and bake them. For all of these guys, I feel like probably anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes. I think we should be pretty good. I don't think they're gonna need a long time since they're fairly tiny and they don't have too many details, so we're gonna try with that first. Okay, all of our clay pieces are officially baked, and I think everything turned out really well actually. I am pretty happy with all of them as far as like the baking process goes. I think they all turned out pretty cute. The one thing that I knew was gonna happen, but I almost wonder if I should have changed it. I might change it if I end up making more of these, if this is a good design, is for the clay ghost cookie design. I used the glow in the dark clay because I thought it would be fun for it to still glow in the dark because that's how all of my ghosts are. And obviously it's a little bit like more transparent looking, more lighter than it was initially when I first sculpted it. It's not quite like the bright white of like the regular white clay. So I don't know. You guys let me know down below if you prefer how it's a glow in the dark design and, you know, looks a little bit kind of more clear light versus like if you prefer the more, you know, actual white clay and it doesn't glow in the dark. So yeah, I'm curious to see what you think. But yeah, all of the designs are done. I am actually going to go ahead and glaze everything. We also have our clay spiderweb cobweb brownie from before, I should say. So we also need to glaze this one. And honestly, yeah, once we have glazed everything, I'll have to let it dry for a little bit and then we can assemble the actual keychains itself and then everything will be done. So very exciting stuff. We also, again, my camera died, so I had to film it off camera, but I did end up making, hello Quincy, I did end up making a clay care card essentially to put in for all of my future orders and things like that. So I will have to show you guys how that looks in a little bit here, but I think it's really cute and I think the design is super fun. So I'm hoping that people will like seeing that. It's just printed on printer paper because I actually had an order and I wanted to make sure it was packaged in there. You guys will see that in an upcoming video. Oh my gosh. So I hope that you guys will, if you ever do order from me, that you enjoy the design and hopefully, you know, find some little fun things in the new packaging that I have decided to come up with as well. So either way, let's get to glazing for right now. All of our clay pieces are officially done glazing. I'm gonna let it rest for a bit so that way it'll probably be dried by the time we actually like attach the keychain aspect of it. But I did want to very quickly, not that drawer, this drawer, aha, okay. I did want to very quickly show off the little clay cards that I made. Again, they're very simple. This is, you know, printer paper because that's what I had on hand, but I thought that these were really cute. Just a little quick like thank you for purchasing. Obviously these are handmade, so like don't throw it against a wall. I have done that and they've still been fine, but you know, just to be on the safe side, probably don't do that. And then obviously you can clean it off with like a damp cloth and it'll be fine. Really, you could probably like run it under soap and water, it'd still be okay too, but just to be on the safe side. So yeah, I made a couple of those, so in case we get any more orders this year, that would be awesome. We'll have these already. I don't know if I would make enough to bring to markets. I might. I was gonna say, if you guys feel like this would be like a fun little addition to your package for markets, let me know if you would actually like to see that, because I think it would be kind of cute. And then again, I'll probably talk about this when we actually get to our order packing video, but I do have the very last couple of our thank you cards, and which is kind of wild because I first got these around like kind of when I started my business, like not like right when I started, but like pretty soon after. And it's kind of wild to think, I don't think I ordered that many, but it's kind of crazy to me to think that I only have 10 left now. So this art is very old now. I feel like hopefully I've gotten a lot better in my art style and like things that I draw. So we have 10 left, so hopefully, you know, we can get through 10 more orders at some point in our small business career, and then yeah, we can make some new thank you cards. So I'm super excited for that. But yeah, that is kind of like the small mini updates that I have for right now. I am very thankful for that order. I'm very thankful that I can continue making this art. And I really have enjoyed coming up with this little clay baked goods collection. So I probably will post it online. I don't know how, you know, if people will love it, but they'll definitely be coming to my next event that I have coming up in July. So that's very exciting too. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and let these glaze for right now, or dry I suppose for right now, and then we'll come back to assemble them into keychains. I will be honest, I feel like every time that I try to film myself while I'm trying to assemble the keychains, it never comes out the way that I intended to, and it looks like I have no idea what I'm doing. I promise I do. Probably. But regardless, I may or may not film that. We'll kind of see what happens, so it's fine. Okay. Everything should be officially all dry. It feels like it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and try my best to assemble the keychains on camera. But if it doesn't work out, then I'm sorry, I'm probably just gonna film it off camera. It's not really like a difficult process. It's more just like being able to like pry everything open evenly, because it's quite small. And you can tell that Prince is interested. So anyway, we did pry it open successfully though, but okay, everything is officially done. I did definitely call it though, as soon as I started filming, like actually getting these keychains ready, immediately could not like get them apart. So sorry, there's really only the one that's kind of shown off in this video, but you get the idea. Essentially you pull apart the piece in the last little bracket here, attach it to the eye pin that's already baked into the clay, and then you're good to go. You just reattach it and you're good. So one last time though, we're going to take a final look at all of our spooky little baked goods collection here. So I really like the idea of you could like kind of find all of these in the world of Spookfall Hollow, my little world that I've created. Oh, I don't know how to turn the mug evidently. But I think that these are super cute, and I'm honestly really happy with how they turned out. So we have quite a few keychains to add to the collection now. I was kind of looking through my listings anyway, and I'm like, I have a ton of desk friends, but I really don't have that many like clay keychains, so that was part of why I decided to go ahead and make them keychains. And then I also don't really have many earrings as well, so I might work on those in the near future. If you guys have some ideas about things that you'd like to see as far as earrings go, let me know though. But yeah, we have all of our clay keychains there, and then obviously our clay desk friends. So we have our blueberry and strawberry pancake, which I also kind of feel, I didn't mean to do this, but it kind of ended up that way. I feel like this could be like a cute little worry stone as well, because there is just like this little divot here in the back. So if you really wanted to like hold on to it and use it like that, you definitely could. And then obviously our celestial baked cookie and our spider web brownie. So super fun. Obviously they're all pretty, like, not huge. Most of my work I feel like is fairly tiny, and I like it that way just because I really like mini things. But yeah, I am really happy with how all of these turned out. So thank you so much if you've made it this far into the video. If you did, I really appreciate it, because I know sometimes, like, sculpting and everything, all of that, I'm not a chit-chatty person, so sometimes I struggle with vlogging a little bit. So if you've made it this far, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And the upcoming videos, I believe we're going to be doing more of a little bit of lifestyle, like honeymoon vlog. Probably going to start working on, I am like way late now, on our May large sculpture and then our June large sculpture, and then kind of going from there. So really, I'll probably also be doing market prep really soon as well. So there's a lot of new things that are going to be coming out in the near future. I'm a little behind as far as like editing and what have you, so bear with me if you will. But I really appreciate it. If you are not already, make sure to follow along and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this, or just more behind the scenes work of running my small business. And yeah, I think that's all for right now, friends. Thank you so much. And until the next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day.